Okay, here's our usability sheet. So when you download this, again, it opens up the same in Numbers or in Excel. You'll see this here. This is just a first line for example. So you'll be sure to delete that. It's just there for, just so you can kind of, like I said, get an example. So from here, you're going to pick. So you're going to select your URL. So let's just say we want the apple.ca website. We don't need to worry about our participant name quite yet because we want to make sure we duplicate this and just get our tasks done first. And then we'll put our name. So I would essentially go to the Apple website and I would click through and I would kind of do my own assessment. The Apple site is probably functions really damn well. So you might have a tough time kind of getting people to have a hard time essentially. I think one of the best sites to do this on would be the Mohawk website, because I think that there might be a few hiccups there. So, but feel free. So if we're doing the Apple site, you could just then select one of the tasks through the site that maybe, as you're going through, you're like, okay, I'm having a hard time finding the different phones. Maybe I really just like, now I'm in a phone section where everything goes. So that's a bit of a hiccup. So maybe you want to find the privacy policy. So you're going to kind of dive into the website yourself, and then you're going to find your tasks. So I'll then just say the participant task would be locate the privacy settings. We can make sure we delete all of those. You can save them somewhere else so you still keep them as an example. Purchase the iPhone, what was that, 13, and I think it comes in colors. What is it, 64 gigabyte, add to cart and ship to your home. They don't obviously have to go through all of this, or obviously they're not going to ship an actual phone, but just get to that process where you calculate your shipping, etc. You could do some, maybe you want to calculate or locate shipping costs. Maybe it's Apple Care, locate how to add Apple Care to your, so etc. So you keep moving through these, and you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna come up with 5 of them. Don't do what I just did, which would be just like sit there and come up with them from, the clouds. You actually want to sit down and you want to do it first and then set that as a task. So once you finish your 5, again, you already know who your participants are. So then I can go in here and I'm going to just call this John Smith. So making sure I save as, this yesterday, save this as recommendation sheet John. And then we'll call this Jane Smith, file, save as Jane. So now what we end up with is 2 identical recommendation sheets, but we've got John's name, we have Jane's name. Then what we do is we're going to, you can do it one of 2 ways. You could send them this sheet and they can put in what the errors are. I do recommend, if you can, book like a Zoom with them if they're not in your home, or sit with them and you will sit down, you're going to watch their body language. You're going to look to see like if their eyes are like, where do I find that? So I recommend that, but I understand it's not that easy to do these days. So you can also just go ahead and send it. They could put their source of error and then they can figure out the ranking. So was it really hard? That's a number 5. Was it like, it was moderate. It wasn't that, or it was easy. It was a number 1. And then if they say, that I couldn't, it took me, 10 clicks to find the shipping, or the font was too small, then, increase font size, and add contrast to color. Perhaps that might be the issue. If you look and you're like, why do they have like gray, like medium gray on dark gray? That's, a bad idea. Then you're going to note that you want to add some contrast to the color. Maybe you think that the button should be higher up because you think that those shipping costs and being able to calculate that's more important. And so you're going to put that. So knowing shipping cost is important. So adding it to the top is priority. Suggestion, say add a banner to the top of the site with link to the shipping. Okay. So John and Jane might have the same issue. They might have the same ranking. You would obviously put the same recommendation in. Jane might say that she couldn't find it because she had a tough time clicking through the website. So you'd have one recommendation. And John might have a tough time because he couldn't read it. So then you would have another recommendation. So there could potentially be some overlap and there may not. Once you're done, you're going to upload those to the Dropbox. Make sure you save both of them, obviously, with everything filled in. Upload to Dropbox. And you're okay. Did I zip that through that too quick? Did I kind of jump all over the place? Is it good? Okay. That's all from me for today then, folks.